is caring. And what better way to share than to sit down on the table with your family and enjoy fabulous, delicious, amazing meals with them. Today, we get to sit down with someone who has been on this show before, but she was a food reviewer the last time. I am talking about none other than Deli Magagula. She is here to share a bit of what she will be preparing this festive season for her and her family. Let us see what she has in store for us today. Sit down with her, get to know her a little bit better, and enjoy those delicious, delicious meals and get to share them with you, most importantly, as you prepare them for the year 2023. Let's go.
Deli Magagula is a lady of 36 years of age, running a small business called Delish Products Eswatini. Delish Products has two range cooking products, which are Deli's curry paste and the Botella mix. This business started in April 2020 when everyone was locked down due to COVID-19. She saw the need for creating these products that can give home-cooked meals an easy, memorable cooking experience. These products infuse such beautiful aromas and make a meal a very tasteful one. With her passion for cooking, she felt the need to start this business because everyone was stuck at home. They still wanted to enjoy a good homely meal. There is no home without good food, hence the introduction of these products to make one cooking experience an amazing one. This is how it all began. Chef Deli has prepared these dishes for us.
And now that we have found out all we need to know about Deli Magagula, she has invited us into her kitchen to enjoy all the meals that you can prepare in the comfort of your home this festive season. I'm talking about when I crumbed mushrooms. With my mushrooms at breakfast peda. No, Deli said we are turning it up a notch and we are going to be giving you a lovely starter made from mushrooms. But she will further explain the three-course meal that she has prepared for us, which is a lovely starter, a main, and of course for the sweet tooth people, a beautiful, beautiful dessert. Deli, welcome to the show and thank you so much for creating this special for us this festive.
Thank you, Bello, and compliments of the season. Welcome everyone to my cooking show. I'm going to teach you guys to do easy, quick meals for the festive season. Hope you guys do enjoy. For our starters, we're going to make crumbed stuffed mushrooms with a sweet chili Thousand Island sauce. So these are my ingredients right here that I have. I have my flour. I have my mushrooms. Preferably I use button mushrooms, or you could use oyster mushrooms. I have my Parmesan cheese. This is my mozzarella cheese. This is my cheddar cheese. And these are breadcrumbs. Firstly, you grate your cheddar cheese.
Okay.
Just enough.
And while you grating that, Deli, you did say this is only the starter. You will be preparing a starter, a main, and of course a dessert. So can you tell us what the main is and what the dessert is? You don't have to go into like too much detail, but just to give us, you've got fancy names for these dishes. If you could just let us know about that.
Okay, for our main, we're going to have a surf and turf. Surf and turf will be my filet steak, which is the beef filet, and prawn meat.
Okay.
The reason why I chose that, Bello, is because, a lot of people like having different things during the festive season and Christmas. So it's one of those meals that I call my mini buffet, where you'll have both the steak and the prawns together. So that's why it's called surf and turf. It's one of my favorites.
All right, too.
And then for our dessert, we're going to have an Oreo delight. It's got Oreos and a bit of cream, very creamy and easy to make.
And I know everyone loves Oreos, and dessert is probably the favorite part for the kids. And if you're making Oreos this festive, you have definitely got them. But let us just move on over to the process of making these crumbed mushrooms that you said we will be making today?
For our starter, we will make stuffed crumbed mushrooms with mozzarella cheese, served with a homemade sweet chili 1000 island sauce. The ingredients are 4 button or oyster mushrooms, half grated Parmesan cheese, half a cup of grated cheddar cheese, half a cup of grated mozzarella cheese, half a cup of breadcrumbs, half a cup of milk, 1 medium egg, 1 tablespoon mayonnaise, 1 tablespoon tomato sauce, half teaspoon of black pepper, half teaspoon of Cajun spice, pinch of salt to taste, and olive oil.
First, you grate your cheese, which is my cheddar. I've already grated that one. And then we'll come with the mozzarella cheese. You open it. And then we'll grate it into this bowl.
Okay. So how much do you think you use maybe for, say, a family of 6 people? Because, yeah.
Because it's Christmas.
How much would you serve? How many mushrooms would you be serving each member of the family?
Since it's a starter, Bello, and we're still going to move on to the main,
Yeah.
maybe per member would have 4 button mushrooms. That means for our stuffing relatively is actually quite a lot, because when you stuff them, you just stuff them in the middle here. So it's just a small weeny stuffing that we put in here. So it doesn't have to be a lot of stuffing. With the cheese, the 3 cheeses that we were actually grating, this is our Parmesan, remember? This is for our stuffing.
Okay.
Yes, this is what we'll use for our stuffing. And then we'll have the breadcrumbs for our coating. And then we'll also have, okay, this is for our sauce. And then we have the seasoning, which is garlic pepper. We'll put this in our, because we'll also use an egg for the coating. So we'll just put this seasoning into the egg.
Okay.
So first, I will wash my mushrooms.
Okay, Deli, let us take our viewers back. Who is Deli Magagula? Before, you know, all the cooking and outside of the cooking most especially, because people will know you for your profession, but you know, sometimes we like to know the real you, the one that puts the knives and the forks down and, you know, just gets to be themselves.
Bello, I'm a self-taught chef.
Yeah.
I can say that I got my inspiration from my mother. She used to love cooking, and we used to cook all the time for Christmas. Yes, so I got my inspiration from her. Besides that, I just love cooking. Cooking is one of my passion, and I've actually been into a lot of competitions. I won the Eswatini municipality competition, home cooking. I got first position. I've been judges. I've been in a lot of other competitions, I may say.
And last year, you know, you joined us as a judge on the show. Not really as a judge, but you were the food taster for the show last year. How can you say it feels to be on the spotlight? Because now you have to teach people, and we have to give a review of the food that you made. You know, the tables have certainly turned. How does it feel for you?
It's amazing, Bello, because, you know, people identify me as a person that only uses my products, which I use them to make curries, stews, and the like. So now that that's why I actually chose to make something totally different.
Yes.
Yes. So I think, yeah, that's it. I'm just a cooker, I may say. So I'll start with the Parmesan cheese.
So you're adding it into a bowl?
Into a bowl.
And where can you get these products for Babugeli who might want to make this in the comfort of their homes? Which stores can you say provide more Parmesan a bit, you know, out of our circle, but Parmesan, maybe cheddar you can definitely get. Where can you get these type of products?
Okay, a Parmesan cheese, you can get it at Pick and Pay. That's where I usually buy mine. So we're making the stuffing right now. We've mixed the Parmesan cheese and the cheddar cheese. We'll just have a drop of olive oil to make it a bit wet for it to stick together for us to be able to stuff into the mushroom.
Okay.
So we'll mix, 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 mix. Make sure everything is mixed to the T so that we can create a good stuffing.
So that just goes in just a little bit.
Just a little bit in here. So what you do is you take the mushroom and you remove the stalk. Preferably you may use your knife to remove it just like this. Gentle, gentle, gentle. So you don't cut through the mushroom.
So you create a little hole where...
You create a little hole.
Okay.
This is how it looks at the end. And then what you do is, your stuffing is well prepared now. You take it, let me rinse my hands.
Hygiene is very, very important in the kitchen. We cannot stress that enough.
So you put it on the palm of your hand and you kind of make it like a circular, a ballish stuffing, and you dip it into the mushroom.
So you're just filling that hole up.
We're filling the holes up.
Okay.
Okay, let's try it out like this. Okay, this also works. But make sure the stuffing is tightly in there.
What are other starters that you think people can make at home that maybe don't require you to go to the stove or use oil, because some people don't like deep fried foods, and where they can still use vegetables like you have?
You can, okay, my favorite is the prawn cocktail.
Okay.
Because it's got jalapeno, it's got prawns, and it has guacamole as well.
Okay.
It's very, very tasty. Guacamole being the evil.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, babukele makhani ngadideki nje iguacamole
Likotapeni.
ikotapeni. I see that you have stuffed the mushrooms, and you after that, what is the next step?
What we'll do after this, Bello, we are going to now crumb them, coat them. We're going to use egg, flour, and our breadcrumbs.
Okay. I believe at this time, can you say it's safe to be maybe preheating your oil?
No. Once you have stuffed them, they need to set, Bello.
Oh,
Because
okay.
for you to get best results, the crumb crust outside the mushroom needs to be a bit hard. So see if you freezer for it to just hold up a bit before we can deep fry them. So we're just doing the preps now. We're going to put it in the freezer and let it set a bit.
And as I always say, with Christmas dishes, you cannot prepare one dish at a time. While the other one is going, you have to get the other things going. So while you are setting this, we'll be making other things, you know?
Yes.
How did you come up with this menu that you have created for us for this festive?
My experience with visiting people during the festive season and, having to cook, it's the long wait.
Yeah, and they always have the same thing.
Yes, it's the long wait. So
Yeah.
I made sure that I'll just pick things that I'll make sure that people, maximum 15 minutes, they're sitting on the table, and we make sure that, they have their meals ready.
Okay.
Not the hours of cooking.
Yeah.
That's old school now.
Yeah, we do not want that. In 2022, we want 30-minute meals and we are done. And the very interesting part is that these kind of meals are actually way more filling than you'd find that your rice, your sam, and 7 colors. Okay, we get it, but you want to turn it up a notch. So what other advices can you give people what can they prepare that will be maybe say under an hour and get them out of the kitchen to spend time with their family?
You know, Christmas with Christmas lunches, an hour is a bit too less, Bello. It's asking for too much.
Yeah, I know.
Yes, but you know,
I'm
maybe
pushing
2
it.
hours.
Yeah.
I think a bit of stews that takes a bit of not too much of a time than making a turkey. Turkey can take up to 12 hours.
Hey.
Still trying to prepare it.
Or duck.
Yes. This is our egg. What I'll do is I will put seasoning just to give it a bit of flavor. Remember, this is our inner parmen garlic and pepper spice. I love using it because I don't have to have a lot of spices, like have the pepper cloves on their own and the garlic on its own. It's all here.
Yes.
So this is what I use for my seasoning all the time.
It's the perfect mix.
It's the perfect mix. Then you just mix it again with the egg.
The egg wash is meant to, the egg is meant to hold the breadcrumbs together.
Yes, and the flour.
All right.
And then we'll season with a bit of salt. I just need a bit of milk.
And the one thing that most people may not know right now is that besides being a businesswoman, you are also a working woman. How do you manage to balance it all? I mean, work, business, and today you are here joining us. I mean, you had to sacrifice your time for working to be here with us, which is, how do you manage to balance it all out?
It's the passion, Bella.
Yeah.
It's the passion. Believe me, once you love something, the sky is the limit. Nothing can happen if you love something. So I always try and balance things up. Work is also tiring. Then there's cooking, there's family,
Yeah.
there's friends, there's gatherings.
Konke
But
moe.
it's me, and also there's business.
Yeah.
But business comes first, my work comes first, then my cooking, my family. But I try to incorporate everyone in that small space.
All right.
Now it's time to coat our mushrooms. Remember, they're now stuffed. So what you do firstly is you just dip it in flour.
So with nothing on them, you just dip them in the flour.
You dip them on the flour. Then the next step, this is our egg mix. We'll dip it in the egg mix. The egg mix is to help us hold the breadcrumbs.
So with an ingredient like breadcrumbs, where do you get such an ingredient? There's the pre-packed ones that can be a bit costly, and then where can you get a much cheaper version of bread? Is there something like making breadcrumbs in your own home?
Oh, I've never made them, Bello, to be honest.
Useve makrasti nje.
Yeah, makrasti, and I think they gather them Gulama retail shops,
Yes.
and then they probably pack them, because this is also from Pick and Pay.
Okay.
Yes, this is from Pick and Pay.
So as you go on there, coating the mushrooms to create that, lovely crumbed coat. There's something very, very interesting about you. And when I think of it, I'm just like, hey, Deli, ngabe at this point. You started a business peak COVID. When COVID started in in March 2020, April 2020, you made the decision to start a business. Yes, people were at home, but they were a bit skeptical about consuming things outside of their homes because bebeva ngathi lokhu kusiphathele virus. But when I wathi ngitonidaisela mina, how was starting a business, during those times, and who was your target market at that time? Because I mean, people were not looking to consume food outside of their home.
True, Bello. Oh, okay. Maybe I should say this about myself a bit. I'm a psychologist
Yeah.
by profession. So there's something called psychological first aid, which is PFA.
Yeah.
So that's how I used to, this is the cooking part, is the strategy that I used during the COVID time to cope.
Okay.
So I thought, oh well, why not incorporate this and help other people that are were in lockdown or sitting at home. At least while you're at home, why not have a good meal? That's when the creating of the products came about. It's just targeted at home cooks.
Yeah.
Could be male, female, anybody. But it's just an easier way of having an amazing meal.
Yeah.
The aroma, everything
You've
is
got
in there.
your Deli's curry paste and the potella mix, but to me this looks like a pretty complicated product to put into place. Where were you getting ingredients, Deli? I'm still very curious because, yay, besisaba sonke. How did you manage to make it? Or when you started off, was the packaging less fancier? How was it?
Yeah, at first the packaging was less fancier, I can say that. But as time goes on, you improve. Because at that time when I started Bello, my customer just wanted the product. It wasn't about the branding.
Yeah,
then. It was just what's inside.
Yes.
No, mum tell us, today I don't have packaging, but no,
Let's
injalo.
Yeah.
So it was very inspiring for just the support that I got from my fellow Swazis. Luckily now we're even neighboring countries with their product. So it's doing very well.
Okay.
It's doing very well.
Okay, now that we have coated the mushrooms, can you tell us where they go so that we can move on to our next step or dish?
Okay. Now that they all crumbed up, this is how they're supposed to look. But what I do is I take the rest over of the breadcrumbs and just sprinkle on top a bit to make sure that everything is completely covered in breadcrumbs. So before we deep fry them, we're going to put them in the freezer just to make them hold up a bit.
Then while we wait for that, we'll be moving on to making our 1000 Island
sauce.
Homemade
Yes.
this time. Not the one that you get in those bottles, the homemade one, Deli's version of a 1000 Island sauce. So let's move on over to that.
Thank you, Bello. The 1000 Island sauce is very easy to make, quick and easy. All you need is your mayonnaise, your olive oil. This is oregano, but dried oregano. And then my all-time favorite for seasoning, which is the garlic and pepper.
Okay.
And then this is homemade chili. It's from Bongi's chili.
Okay.
Yes, it's very tasty. I love it. I always use it to just flavor my food. So Eswatini are talented out there, guys.
Yes.
Eswatini are very talented.
They
I can
definitely
give
are.
it to you. This woman can make a chili sauce.
All right.
And then we'll also use a bit of salt for seasoning. So first,
Let me help you. I don't
Will
know
you
where
help
I'll
me?
get
Let me
the
get-
strength from.
we'll just put our ketchup so long. Mina ke ngiyayisebenzisa vele ize make sure ukuthi it's done.
Hey, ngathi le mayonnaise ayifuni ukusebenza namuhla.
Okay, let's try it like this. Iyala maswati lamali. Sothi sesiyabona ukuthi kanola abapackage kahle. That's a joke.
Yeah, but you always have
There we
some-
go.
We always have tough times in the kitchen. You know, this was
Exactly.
definitely a depiction of that. What can you say have been the toughest times of your career as a chef?
You know, this one is the worst, because you know this is Eswatini, so you can't expect to be using muscle here while you're cooking.
Yeah.
Viewers, you don't have to use muscle while you're cooking.
Yeah, no, you give this one to the man of the house. He opens it for you and you're done.
Beforehand.
Yeah.
So we'll have a spoon of mayo. There's a spoon of ketchup already. And then we'll season, just a teeny weeny seasoning. And then we'll put a teaspoon of this chili sauce. Make sure your teaspoon is clean, because if you put teaspoon less ngolile into your chili sauce, it might go
Iyalata.
off.
Yeah, lada. Yeah. So if you do not like chili stuff, you can just cancel out the chili.
You can cancel out. The chili is optional.
Okay.
And then we have our oregano. This is a herb mostly used for your pasta dishes. So it goes well with this Thousand Island sauce. Then you mix together. You should actually get an orangish to reddish
Pinkish
color,
color.
pinkish
Oh,
color,
yeah.
something like this.
Like the one they know, but this is the Deli version.
Exactly.
This is the delish version.
And then we also take our sauce into the fridge, just to let it cool a bit. Ngoba kunalo pele, so it needs to at least, you know, for it to have that, give that flavor, it needs to be a bit cold.
Okay.
So what we'll do next is that we are going to prep, we're done prepping our starter.
Yeah.
Now we're going to prep our main, because it also needs to set a bit. So what I usually do is I do my cooking, this whole menu should take me under an hour. So I do the preps first before I do the actual cooking. So what we'll do, we'll prep, and then I'll show you the cooking methods.
Alrighty, and when we come back, we will be headed over to the stove, because now we have let our things sit in the fridge, nice, and then you will see them deep fry. We will be at the stove. When we return, we are giving you the surf and turf, and of course the Oreo delight dessert that Deli will be preparing for us today. But other than that, we'll be seeing you when we come back.
And for our main, Chef Deli chose a surf and turf. This is her all-time favorite meal. It's what she calls her mini cost-effective buffet. Since it's Christmas, guests love to have different types of meals, hence she chose this one. It will incorporate different meals in one. You will be licking your fingers during this meal for sure. This is a beef fillet and prawns in butter garlic sauce. The ingredients are 2 fillet steaks, 1 cup prawn meat, half a cup mushrooms, 1 cup milk, half a cup of flour, 2 spoons of butter, 2 spoons of garlic, and half a lemon.
We have reached the part where we make the star of the show. This is where everyone literally engages. If you didn't have the starters, it's okay. And if you won't make it to the dessert, it is definitely okay. But here, you definitely have to be here. Deli said today she will be preparing a surf and turf. Mina kusurfa ngikwati kwasele ocean elwandle. Naso utosurfa ekitchen, udongichazela ke Deli ukuthi usuke usho ukuthini now to surf and turf in the kitchen. Deli, can you tell us what you're making for our main, what ingredients you've prepared, and how we're going to go about it?
Thank you, Bello. Yes, as you said, we're making a surf and turf for our main, which is the beef fillet, and we're also going to use prawn meat for that. But you know, viewers, you can always use anything. You can use your T-bone steak, For your turf, you can use your pork chops. You can use any kind of reddish meat that you may like. And for your seafood, you can use your mussels, you can use seafood mix, etc. It doesn't have to be the specific type of meat. I just love my fillet.
Okay, I heard you say for your turf. Kusho ukuthi lo turf ngile nyama lebo. Lo surf ngile nyama le yase.
Leyaselwandle.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
So we'll start with our fillet. We're going to evenly chop it.
Okay. I learned something new today.
It's a soft cut, so
Yes.
it's just umukwa just slides through.
And how long do you usually cook a meat like this, you know? Some people like it rare. What's the perfect way to have your beef?
It's medium to well.
Okay.
Not too bloody, but just a bit undercooked, not too overcooked.
Okay. Because
More on the well done side than the raw side.
Right, so you just cut it up into maybe 2-3 centimeter slices there,
Yes, not too thick.
and
then
definitely not too thin.
we'll start with the seasoning, the garlic and pepper.
Now that I've realized which one is the stuff for today, you know, your garlic and pepper is the biggest feature in your kitchen.
It's like I'm making a pepper steak. So as I said, I don't need with the spice. I don't need the pepper cloves.
Okay.
I'll just use
This.
the spice.
And
For it to infuse properly, I'll just put a drop of the olive oil.
what is another ingredient that you always keep in your kitchen?
Garlic.
Besides garlic, you know, chefs and garlic, everyone has garlic in their kitchen, but one that, besides Deli's products, Delish products, what else do you keep in your kitchen that you need to make sure you have?
Cream.
Okay.
Yes, I love cream. I put my cream on stews, salads, when I make my cream spinach, creamy mushroom, which I'll make today.
Okay.
So you'll see it, you can use it for a lot of stuff. It neutralizes your food. So if your food is too salty or too spicy, just add cream.
Okay.
And then it will make it a bit,
It's the neutralizer.
yeah, it's a neutralizer of the food. So now we're going to chop our garlic, or preferably we'll grate it. We'll
Any
grate
works.
it. Yeah, any works. But you know, when you grate it instead of the chopping, the flavor gets infused much more better
Okay.
than when chopped.
Okay, so can you use already crushed garlic from the store, or you'd advise that they get the whole clove garlic?
The fresh garlic is always the best, Bello,
Yeah.
because it gives more flavor. Stolo, no offense, but suke seyihleli. So the flavors then they're
Not too garlicky.
too garlicky.
Yeah.
Yes. Let me just get my grater. Sorry. So this is how we do it, our viewers. We grate the garlic.
Oh, okay. And it comes out nice, and I can already smell it. You know, it gives off more of that
More
garlic smell.
flavor.
Yeah.
You can also grate your garlic when you're doing your barbecues, for your marinades and all that. It always gives flavor than just having to chop it up.
And for New Year's, what are dishes that you can prepare so that, you know, the time we spend in the kitchen is not as much as the time we spend on Christmas? Because Christmas is definitely about eating, I feel, but New Year's we want to enjoy the vibes. What are the other dishes that we can be preparing instead of your curries and your, you know, surf and turf, things that need a bit of time?
New Year's for me is shisanyama.
But everyone
Braai.
says braai.
For me, it's the braai.
Yeah.
Yes. So this is how it should look. This steak is well marinated now. Remember, there's the garlic pepper, and then we just grated garlic and a bit of olive oil. So we'll just put this on the side and work on our prawn meat.
Okay.
So what we do is we put parsley. Just sprinkle a bit of parsley on top.
Okay.
Olive oil, of course. And then there's the spice. It's called the Cajun spice. Some people call it Cajun, but it's called Cajun spice. It's for Lagala a spice world. It's very tasty. It's for every type of meat. It's got so much flavor. So I never leave it out as well. Yes. And flavor. It's got some Mozambican
Taste to it.
Taste to it, yes.
So you could use it to marinate maybe boma chicken.
Chicken, pork, fish.
Or leshisa nyama loto yenda New Year's.
New Year's.
Yeah.
Then you mix this together. And then we'll pop this into the fridge for it to set. It will marinate. You know that the cooling temperatures infuses more flavor into the meal, into any of your meal.
Okay.
So we'll put this in the fridge.
Now that goes into the fridge to set, you know, she is incorporating the flavors and she's saying if you put it in the fridge, that's where you get the flavors to be more infused into your surf and your turf. It's surf ngilolo kuphume elwandle. I-turf ngilolo kuhleli la emhlabeni. Letilwane lesitidla ko letihletilana. I learned something new. I feel like mind blown actually.
And then with this, with the surf and turf, we're going to serve it with a homemade mushroom sauce.
Okay.
So you wash your mushrooms and then you quarter them, maybe into this size, viewers. So we'll quarter our mushrooms.
Okay, so quartering all of the mushrooms.
Yes.
And what goes with this mushroom sauce that you will be making?
We need flour, we need cream, we need a bit of seasoning, and then we need milk. We'll just mix the flour and the milk together. Na butter, and then we'll first fry the butter, put the flour and the milk mix, and then we just continue stirring until it's well blended with the mushrooms, and then we put the mushrooms and then the cream.
And how long does that take to make?
It takes about 5 minutes.
Okay, 5 minutes to have with your beautiful fillet steak and your lovely prawns there. And then after that, what are you pairing it with?
We'll pair it with our asparagus. What we'll do is we'll wash it.
Hey Deli, yabona i-asparagus ngathi veggie lithanda kunyuka kancane ngasekhikhini. What other vegetable can we use? Broccoli,
Yes, broccoli and cauliflower bello would be another option.
Okay.
If you're not using asparagus, you could make with this meal, with surf and turf, you could even make a vegetable stir fry.
Oh, okay.
You can make a vegetable stir fry, you can make your green beans, your peas and the like.
Okay.
So this we will fry, saute in butter. So we'll keep it for now until we make our meal.
Okay.
So now what we'll do is we'll start prepping for our dessert.
So we are done with the starter, prepping the starter. We are done prepping the main. We will head on over to the stove and then we will be preparing our dessert. We are almost done for Christmas in a jiffy of a time. When they are done blinking, you will be done cooking. So let's head on over to our lovely, lovely dessert.
And for our dessert, Deli has prepared an Oreo delight, the easiest homemade dessert recipe you'll ever make. Just 3 ingredients needed and no need to bake. The ingredients are 1 cup milk, 4 Oreo biscuits, mint chocolate, whipped cream, and mint leaf for garnish.
And now we are at the favorite part that everybody loves. You know, this is what you have after a long day of having, you know, a lot of food, because this is where you get to refresh, cool, and you know, because the immune system kancane man, because Siyatithanda letimbo letimnanzi. Deli has a backstory with this one, you know. It's their own creation, actually. That is copyrighted today. It is Deli's creation. It is an Oreo delight with mint crisp. You are going to tell us the story because I'd love for them to know the story behind this one. But firstly, can you tell us what you will be making for our lovely dessert?
Thank you, Bello. This is my daughter's favorite dessert. She loves Oreos and she loves milk. So I decided one day to actually take the Oreos and crush them and add milk and put it in the microwave and see what would come out of it. So this is how this dessert came about. It's my daughter's all-time favorite. So firstly, you take your Oreos.
Okay.
Okay, I usually use this garlic
Mortar.
Mortar, yes. I use that because angolisi, it doesn't have that splashing of it. But you can also use your blender.
And I know another technique is that you can put it in a paper
plastic
bag and just
yeah.
speed it up.
Exactly, Bello.
Both embeni nje na ufake ama-biscuit microwave. I mean, fate like a potato, you know.
Exactly. So you crush your Oreos. You can use a spoon to be turning them around. Ungawakrushi kakhulu. Just enough for them to actually fit in your bowls.
Okay.
Then you scoop.
So they're quite big chunks,
They're
not
quite
too
big,
small.
not too small. You scoop your Oreos out into your dessert bowl.
Okay.
Okay, can we add more, please? More crushing. Our dessert bowl in hulu. So we need to crush a bit more.
I see that you have other ingredients there, your whipped cream, your full cream milk, you also have cream. It's a lot of cream. How are
It's
these?
dessert, Bello.
Yeah, but how are these ingredients going to work with this one, you know?
Okay, what happens is when we put, what we'll do is we'll put we'll put milk into our Oreos, and then we put it in the microwave.
So
And we'll put the milk and a bit of cream, and then we mix it. It shouldn't be too soggy. It should just be wet but not too soggy.
Kahle kahle, you are turning the biscuit into a cake.
A cake, exactly,
Okay.
Bello. So we'll use our milk. Remember, not too soggy, just wet.
Just a bit. So leli bisi ngileli elipheka lama biscuit.
Ngilipheka lama biscuit.
And ke kusaya microwave, how long are you going to pop it into the microwave for?
It takes about 2 minutes.
Okay, 2 minutes.
2 minutes in the microwave. Then you add a bit of cream,
Okay, fresh cream,
fresh cream.
and you mix it up.
So let's experiment. It's actually my first time adding cream.
Okay.
I just want to see how it will turn out
This time around.
this time around.
Oh, experimenta ngami. Your daughter's no longer around, but you were like, I'll use this one today.
I'll use the cream. And then for our mint, I usually use the mint crisp chocolate, yaga, Cadbury. What you do is you grate it because we want just the inny weeny chocolate, not the whole chunk. We just want the bit of chocolate inside there.
This actually brings me to a very, very interesting question. Yabo, namuhla kuningi lokgratiwe kuleli khishi leli. What are some tools that you make sure you keep in your kitchen? You know, these you cannot do without, be it i-blender, i-deep fryer, ligedlela, yinje lokuhlala khona kitchen lakho. Nangabe kungekho awungamane ungapheki wena esidele ngamane ungawathinzi emapholi.
It has to be my slow cooker.
Okay.
Yeah, slow cooker. I love cooking stuff overnight, experimenting and not having to rush
Yeah.
to be checking up on your pots all the time.
Okay.
So this is how our mix looks like. Not too soggy, but just a bit wet. So we'll take this mix and put it into the microwave.
You said 2 minutes into the microwave.
Yeah, 2 minutes. Just keep checking though.
Okay. So now we'll wait 2 minutes while that goes, and then packing away our fresh cream. You know, we clean as we go. That is very important, because you will be preparing other dishes. You do not want more cross-contamination. So say dessert garlic, you know. These things happen. But remember, when we started, we prepped our starter, which was our stuffed crumbed mushrooms.
Yes.
They are in the freezer. They are going to head on over to the stove with our hot oil, so that, you know, that crumb, that bread crumb can get nice and golden brown. And then we're also going to be preparing our surf and turf on the stove that we're going to be eating very, very soon. This one was definitely a quick one.
This one.
1 minute is gone. Okay, so we're taking the other minute, you also have your mint there to garnish.
Okay, the whipped cream is I'm going to use this one to make kind of like a garnish as well, together with the mint.
Okay.
The whipped cream, I'll just whip it on top. It will make it look like a muffin.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you like, maybe, I see you using whipped cream. How's vanilla ice cream work if maybe you don't want the whipped cream? You know, sometimes people are not a fan of certain things because, you know, we all have our preferences when it comes to taste and food. Do you think they can use
they could use
vanilla ice cream?
Yes, you could use your fruits, fresh fruits.
Yes.
You can use
it actually smells like a cake.
There we go.
Oh, that is all baked. Hi.
This is all baked. This is how it should look like.
Look at that. Look at that.
So this is our mini sponge cake.
Yeah.
And what we'll do is, we'll just let it cool off a bit. Or maybe if you like, maybe if your guests are in a bit of a rush, you can put it in the fridge, but I love it to cool on its own.
Okay.
What we'll do with the whipped cream is that once it's cool, you just whip it on top.
Okay.
Whip it on top, and then you garnish with your mint leaf.
Okay. And then the viewers will get to see that when we get to the plating part. Now that we are done with the dessert, you saw that was quick and easy. Under 5 minutes, you can make a cake in the microwave. You know, I am stunned all the time with Deli's techniques. So now we're gonna head on over to the stove to prepare our starter and our main, and then after that it is plating, and we get to my favorite part where we eat and eat.
I can't wait, Bello.
Let's go to the stove. And now we are heading back on over to the stove where the heat is created. It has definitely been hot in this kitchen because we are preparing hot dishes. I am talking about fiery dishes that you will get to enjoy on the table with your family. We're going to take it over to Deli, who is by the stove creating her magic. Remember, she said the crumbed mushrooms need to set. Now they are out of the fridge and into the oil. I am talking about cold to hot this time around. So, Deli, show us what you've got on the stove.
Thank you, Bello. So we now have our crumbed mushrooms, which we'll dip in hot oil. Please, viewers, the oil should be very hot, and the oil should make sure to cover the mushrooms. We are deep frying. This process takes about 5 minutes, so we can get them still nice and juicy. Please don't overcook them. While we wait for our mushrooms to be frying, we'll start on with our surf and turf, which is our steak and our prawn meat. So what we need is butter. It's pure butter, unsalted.
And get Deli. Some people do not have the luxury of things like butter. Can you say it's safe to use maybe margarine or rama for this dish, or it has to be butter or nothing else?
You could use your rama, but don't put too much because it's oily. Okay. With the 100% pure butter, it doesn't have too much unwanted oil.
Okay.
So with the mushrooms, it's just 110 literally.
And they are already looking golden brown, as we can see on the stove. It's crackling, and I'm smelling, those different aromas that you're getting from the mushrooms being deep fried, and now smelling the butter. And I know when the meat hits the stove, it is definitely going to be going down in terms of things.
So it's just tossing and turning for 2 minutes, and then we're now taking them out. Nice and crispy. If you can focus on the bottom, you can see the cheese that has been stuffed in there popping out. Remember, viewers, it's cheddar and Parmesan cheese for your stuffing. So we'll drain our oil, and then we focus on our surf and turf.
Okay, now we are moving over to the main. As we had mentioned before, that if you're making one dish, you can also start preparing another. You do not want to prepare one dish at a time. Otherwise, your Christmas lunch, dinner will be the next day, or they won't eat at all. You have to put it all on the stove and get it going so that your family can enjoy a nice Christmas lunch. Deli, what are some of the classics that you like to enjoy for Christmas? Besides this dish, what is something that maybe you grew up having on your Christmas family table?
It has to be the turkey.
Okay.
I love the turkey and biryani.
Okay, but that's a dish that takes long to make. I'm sure you would have waited hours and hours. It's full of wood, but
it's worth the wait. So in our steak, this is thyme. It's just for flavor. Okay. Make sure it's on high heat so we don't overcook our steak.
Your mushrooms were done in literally under a second, you can put it like that. And now you're putting your steak on the stove. How long does that go on for before we get to enjoy it?
If you remember, Bello, we spoke about medium to well.
Okay.
That means we need about 6 minutes on high heat.
It is already smelling so good in this kitchen. If I could bring you here, but I'm sure when we get to eat, you will see by my facial expressions.
Definitely, Bello. The reason why I actually like using the fillet steak, it's because, as I said, I want easy, quick meals. It takes about 6 minutes to cook. So you don't have to spend hours trying to make a meal for your guests and keeping them waiting.
And please do remember, Deli did give us other options for your turf. You can use your T-bone steaks, you can use your pork chops, anything that is meaty. You can pair up maybe with something fishy.
I'm adding a bit of seasoning. Just for the taste, which is the Cajun spice. Please, guys, it's Cajun, not Cajun. Cajun spice.
I don't have to spell it as long as I eat it. Okay, and now that that's going, everything else is done, and I think we'll be at a stage where we are moving on over to our plating, and we sit down and we get to know more about Deli and what she thinks about cooking for the festive and the rest of the year, because these are not only dishes that you can make during the festive. We cook all year round because we love to eat. So she will be sharing some more of her delicious recipes that she makes in her kitchen with us. But right about now, let's get frying, and then we will be right back with the plating and my favorite part, the enjoying.
Welcome back to our show. Now we're plating our starter. Remember, we're doing crumbed mushroom with sweet chili sauce. So what we do is, this is our sweet chili. We scoop it using our spoon. Just put a drop of it, almost like in a curly motion. We slant it with our spoon. And then we have miniature drops of the sauce. We place our crumbed mushrooms on top of the sauce. Then we evenly spread our cheddar and mozzarella cheese on top. Grated. We pop it into the microwave for 30 seconds for the cheese to melt. This is a filling starter, by the way, and very, very healthy. We go on to garnish with our oregano, just to make our plate look a bit pretty, and of course for flavor. Add our thyme just for the scent. So there we have it. We have our crumbed mushroom served with sweet chili Thousand Island sauce. Now we're going to move on to our main dish. Now we're on to our main. We're doing the surf and turf. So we've got our fillet ready. So first, we take the fillet. We'll do it in layers so it looks good and you can actually taste the flavors mixed together. And then what follows is our mushroom sauce. Which we put on top of the steak. Almost covering the fillet so it's nice and creamy. Then we have our prawn meat bedded on top, since we said it's surf and turf. Then there's this garlic jus that goes so well with the asparagus. We can't leave it out. A soup. Yale steak and the prawns. So it's something that you'll just pour. I'll use my hands for the asparagus. Ngoba kune formation lengifuna kuyenda. So you don't just put it anyhow. And then for our garnish, we'll have the rosemary. The rosemary leaf. Don't put too much because it can actually overwhelm the food and it will change the flavors. Just enough to make your food look good. Then sprinkle your mixed herbs. Then voila, this is our surf and turf. Hope your guests enjoy.
It's been a beautiful day of quick slaving away in the batches, Yabo. And during Christmas, what happens is that you have a lot of that. I mean, people consume a lot of potatoes. What are other options that you can give them for Christmas besides this one? Because I see it's very healthy and also nice.
You know, sometimes the roasts go well, you know, with your roasted potatoes. You can also do the curries. I'm an expert on curries. So yeah, that would be my suggestion. If you want it all rich and filling, even though this is filling. So as you can see, it's cooked to perfection. As we said, medium to well. It needs to be a bit pinkish inside, but not bloody.
So that means a maximum of 8 minutes on the stove?
Yeah.
Not too long.
Not too long. This food really tastes good.
This food is really, really delicious. What we also have during Christmas, you know, a lot of kids around, and children are very picky when it comes to bo garlic, bo ma prawns, ma vegetables, yabona nje la kunabo asparagus. Inje longa yende eceleni le fast for bantwana ukuthi ba enjoy nabo ngaKhisimusi.
You know, with kids always keep it simple. They like their rice and, you know, their stews. They look forward to the dessert. So make sure you excel on that one. But with the food, you can keep it simple. You know, they also have their hot dogs, roast rolls. Their main focus Christmas time is just the sweets.
Of course,
Yes. And when we are all about the food, I love good food and fine dining. So I make sure Christmas time, me and my family enjoys that.
Okay, so in cooking during Christmas, especially for your family industry, that you know are trying to make it, that are trying to get their products out there, what advice, excuse me, can you give them, or what are your words of encouragement to them, and especially importantly, a message to the viewers at home for the festive season and the year of 2023?
Okay, to my fellow business counterparts, I would actually just say keep going. You know, with the market, the way it's looking, it's not really steady lately. But, you know, keep pushing. Thank you to the Swazi people for the support. They're always out there supporting. We can't forget them. Our fellow country mates, also they're always supporting locally. Yeah, just support locally, and Merry Christmas.
And for the year 2023,
Keep pushing. Yeah, keep pushing. The sky is the limit.
and for you?
I'll keep pushing.
Thank you so much, Deli. You heard that, Kebabungile Makaya. She said she will definitely keep pushing. And we hope to see her again here on Eswatini TV, demonstrating many other meals, because we have lots and lots of shows to enjoy past the festive season. Thank you so much for joining us on this delightful episode with Deli Magagula. She prepared a nice starter for us, which was the crumbed mushroom, a nice main, which was the surf and turf, and now her very own creation, which her daughter enjoys. And I guess today I got to enjoy,